Martin Shkreli is the 32-year-old founder of two different drug companies, one of them being named Turing Pharmaceuticals. Now, already that name pisses me off because it's basically disgracing the name of Alan Turing, the father of modern computing. And here's why he disgraced the name if you're not familiar. He actually raised the price of a 62-year-old drug named Daraprim, which he had acquired. He changed the price from $13.50 to $750 a pill. A pill. That's almost 4,000% price increase. Now, Turing Pharmaceuticals had paid $55 million to acquire the drug. So, since this is such a large amount of money, it made sense, at least when it came to their pocketbooks, to raise the price of the drug. And this is in an effort, of course, to keep generic companies from making the drug and creating competition. Well, if they don't have competition, he can have a monopoly on the drug, and he can charge whatever the fuck he wants and make tons of money. This is douchebaggery 101. Now, Shkreli has a long history of being a douchebag with, in my opinion, an incredibly punchable face, I may add, by urging the Food and Drug Administration not to approve drugs made by companies whose stock he was selling short. I mean, remember, that's how he would make a lot of his money. He would sell short stocks and then raise the price of drugs. I mean, this guy's a hedge fund manager as well. Now, some of the stuff that he's done, in 2007, he was ordered by a judge in New York City to pay $2.3 million to Lehman Brothers to cover a losing investment. Now, he was also sued by two former employees for him not paying them their wages. So this guy, wage theft. And another former employee accused Shkreli of stealing his personal email and Facebook accounts and then using them to harass his family. Douchebag of the year. Douchebag of the year. Maybe of all time. Now, not only that, but the board of directors in his first pharmaceutical company accused him of using the company's funds as his own piggy bank to pay back angry investors from his hedge fund. So, okay, so this guy, classic a-hole, right? Who was pretty much all about ripping people off. Now, some people had an issue with that. Pretty much all normal people on the internet. Normal people everywhere are like, dude, what a fucking douchebag, right? Now, one of the people that had a problem with him, not so normal, is presidential candidate Bernie Sanders, who teamed up with Senator Elijah Cummings to write a letter to Pharma Bro asking him why he hiked up the price. So here's Bernie Sanders, Elijah Cummings saying, hey, why did you do this? This is bullshit. You're making this unaffordable for poor people and people who are middle class who need the drug. Well, they sent him a letter, and of course, Pharma Bro decided he would ignore them. This did not sit well with Bernie Sanders. Now, in a news press release on Friday, he actually addressed Martin Shkreli's practices by saying, quote, "On behalf of the American people, we are sickened by these actions. Mr. Shkreli is holding hostage the patients who rely on this life-saving medication, as well as the hospitals that administer it, by charging unconscionable prices for a drug in which he has a monopoly, just because he can." Now, it didn't take long for one of the most hated people on the internet to strike back. Martin Shkreli tweeted, quote, Senator Bernie Sanders doesn't understand health care. I hope he debates this topic with me instead of relying on sound bites and cheap shots. Oh, there's the challenge. The gauntlet has been thrown. Now, for one, he says Bernie Sanders doesn't understand health care? Really? This guy doesn't understand health care. Health care isn't about profit and ripping people off. It's actually supposed to be about, I don't know, curing diseases and improving the quality of life for people. You know, that kind of thing. Those hokey concepts of actually fucking helping people and not fucking them over. Yeah. Now, that said, look, I don't believe that there shouldn't be, you know, I believe that there shouldn't be a profit motive in healthcare. All right. That said, I do believe there needs to be a way to recover R&D costs, because that shit is expensive, right? In the case of Darapram, it takes them $1 to make the pill. $1. I don't know how much went into researching it, but you think after a while, even if you have a markup of what? It was originally like $7 or $13.50, right? You sell enough of those, you will definitely recoup your losses on research and development pretty easily, and still make it affordable for people to get. Now, Martin Shkreli's like, fuck that. I'm gonna make a profit. I'm gonna make bank on this shit, and that's exactly what he did. This asshole was gouging them and making, as I said, money, tons of money on their suffering, and at least that was the whole plan. The way Shkreli does healthcare, I guess maybe he's right. We don't understand healthcare because we don't understand how a human being could do that to other human beings, all for the sake of greed. Now, he also tweeted, quote, attacking the pharmaceutical industry that creates jobs and leads the world in advances in medical research. Senator Sanders should be ashamed. Shamed. When called out on his greed, Shkreli also says, well, greed? What are you talking about? I'm not greedy. I'm not greedy. I don't own a car. I don't even have a driver's license. Our company's not even profitable. Well, what the fuck kind of CEO are you? If you're in the system where you can hike up drug prices, whatever you want, how can you not be profitable? You're the worst capitalist in the world. My salary is $0. I give millions of dollars to charity. Really, millions of dollars to charity. I'm going to have to see some documentation on that one, because I call bullshit. All right. As far as this driver's license, I don't even have a car. I don't have a driver's license. Well, it's pretty easy to not need a driver's license when you're worth about $100 million. That is his net worth. And you know what's not easy? Having AIDS, cancer, and malaria, and not being able to afford a pill because some asshole jacked the price up about 4,000 fucking %. No, but don't worry. He gives millions of dollars to charity. So it can't be all bad, right? Right? Well, his charity is literally his charity. He's got the Martin Shkreli Foundation. When was it created? 2015. Seems a little, I don't know, suspicious, right? And it's supposedly there to help underprivileged people. Irony. Irony. Look, he must care so much about the poor, right? I mean, he's got this foundation, but if you actually go through his Twitter timeline and see what he actually says and thinks about people, well, you should find out how he actually really feels. When somebody called him out of this price hike by saying, hey, guys, I know you won't care because you're a millionaire, which he literally is, but middle-class people are going to go into debt and they're going to suffer because of your decision, because of his actions. He replied, ain't my fault. Ain't my fault. Well, there you have it, man. There you have it. That's what he thinks. That's not my fault. I don't care. This guy's an asshole. And I do hope that Bernie Sanders takes him up on this debate offer. Let's see it. Let's have him go at it. That should be fun. I hope Sanders takes him on and knocks him down a few pegs. But what I'd really love to do, what I'd really love to see, is Bernie Sanders and other legislators take on this issue of overpriced drugs and make sure that there will never, ever be another Pharma Bro.